It's finally here, Grandma's Cook-Off. We are in the 10th annual Genda's Grandma's Cook-Off 2017. I'm Dennis Bergendorf. I'll be helping you through this. We'll be talking with Mark Genda very, very shortly. We'll let you know exactly what's going on. We do have 57 entries this year, which is possibly a record. Maybe Mark will let us know about that when we find out exactly what's going on here. Great, great smell here in this big room. It's very, very warm today, as you're quite aware, but we are having a very, very good time here. People are really enjoying this and getting ready for some very, very tasty food. What we have is 4 separate categories: main dish, side dish or salad, soup, and dessert. Now, this is not just for bragging rights. The winners in each division get $300, and it's in cash. It's 3 $100 bills. I happen to know a little bit about that. My wife Barbara won last year for her wonderful bread ring. She's entered something else this year. We'll find out a little bit more about it a little later on. We want to thank all the people here at Genda Funeral Home: Mark Genda, Rita and Mel Betts, also Carly Manahan and Nick, Lindsay Bear, Deb and John Walker, John and A.B. Pontius and their family, Sean and Kim Kine, Mary Lou Castillo, and Don Hensley. The judges are going to have an awesome responsibility. So let's tell you who the judges are this year. It's Marvel Alberts, Sharon Bardener, Grant Gangwer, Kim Gangwer, Ken Hartman, Nancy Hicks, Connie Hensley, Nancy Martin, Jan Shore, Wanda Smith, and of course, Doug Tyson. Now, new this year, some kids are going to be involved in the judging. They're going to have the Kids' Choice Award this year. They're from the Clinton County 4-H Club, and they all have a little bit of a food background, so they know what they're doing when they make some judgments. And those kids are Shelby Butler, Emma Price, and Katie Stitsworth. We will be talking with Mark Genda here very, very shortly. As you can see in the background, they are setting up the food right now, and the judges will be tasting it here very, very, very shortly. This has been going on for the past 10 years. This is the 10th anniversary. It's interesting how things got started, Russ. A couple of the winning recipes and entries those many years ago: chicken spaghetti, stuffed pepper soup. Well, that sounds good. Baked mac and cheese. How about this? Line dancer chicken. Maybe you could kick up your heels to that. I don't know. There was jambalaya, Grandpa Wessel's teriyaki pork loin, Frankfurt hot dog casserole. As you can tell, a lot of the names are about as clever as the recipes. Now, the last year, we had fruit pizza winning in the dessert. Also turbo pineapple cherry cake, and let me see if I can get this right, Nellie's Notorious Pumpkin Roll. So a lot of fun involved in this, a lot of hard work went into it. Very warm day here today at Genda Funeral Home, sponsoring Grandma's Cook-Off once again. It's become an annual tradition here in Frankfurt, and we are so happy to be a part of it here on WILO TV.
Well, you know, Dennis, it is a fun time, and I had my first chance to see this about 2 or 3 years ago, and 57 entries is very large. That's a good way to go. And you can see right here I think that might be the soup category that I have it on right now, and then we have the desserts right in front of us, Dennis. We're going to have to keep our mitts off of that one.
We're not allowed to sample it first, but I'm sure we will get to sample quite a few of these things, Russ.
We'll drag it over here. That, you know what, I don't know which one is the main dish is right, the one I just showed you. So you can tell we're experts at this, aren't we? And there's the audience. It's always fun they have some youth judges this time for the first time ever.
That's right. The Kids' Choice, kids from the Clinton County 4-H are here. They're going to be sampling food too, and they'll give us their ideas of what they think is the very best.
And there's Mark Genda we have on camera right there, and he is going to be taking the MC microphone here fairly shortly. He's kind of funny. I think you can remember last year, didn't he give a tape measure or something? For
everybody got a tape measure.
Oh, my goodness.
I was going to make a crack, but I won't. It is a lot of fun. Things will get cooking here very, very shortly. And, of course, I am using a pun advisedly. But we will be getting ready to judge all the entries here. Do we have a list of the entries? We don't have this year, do we, Russ?
I don't know that we do. I will tell you, it's a fascinating story how this got started 10 years ago. Do you know the story?
No, I don't.
Well, Mark and the people that were working at Genda's kind of kept listening if there was a funeral, and if it was a lady, they would always sing the praises of her cooking and her food and how they were going to miss all of that after she died. So he thought, you know what, maybe we ought to just go ahead and celebrate her cooking now. And so that's how it started. Let's celebrate her cooking now, and then we can remember it later too.
Well, I guess in the event that we do have a eulogy in someone's future, we could be talking a little bit about one of the awards, which of course was the Grandma's Cook-Off.
Okay, and it looks like we have the judges right here listed for you. And Lindsay is facilitating, and she would love to get on the mic right now and tell us a little bit more if she wants to. We would love that. Oh, she'll be taking some pictures here.
So, Lindsay's going to take pictures, and then she'll come back and talk to us just a little bit. Now, what's the schedule, Russ?
Well, the judging will start at 2 o'clock here in about 5 minutes. Mark will probably say some opening words because he's going to introduce the judges, and so that'll be, and then he'll kind of give the groundwork of the different divisions and so forth, and then the judges will just be hovering around their respective tables, and when they are finished with all the data they need, they will dismiss themselves, and that's when we eat.
Do all the judges sample all 57 entries, or have they been assigned? Haven't they been assigned like 3 judges per category?
It's something like that. Yeah, it's just math. You know, I know they have a number of judges there. I don't know who is judging what.
Well, I would think it would be virtually impossible to judge 57 different items, but a couple of these categories...
Right. Yeah, you're right. There are judges by category, absolutely.
A couple of categories certainly have 14, 15, 17 entries in, so it is going to be a tough choice.
Absolutely, and we are going to archive this, so you still have time to come. And by the way, the meals will not even be served for everybody until the judges are done. So by all means, if you're watching this and you want to come down and do a little taste test, then come on down. And there's no admission, no charge at all.
Russ, we are going to be getting a little bit of trivia today, too. I'm sure Mark will be letting us in on this, but did you know that coriander seeds grow up to be cilantro?
I did not
know that?
How could I live without knowing that?
Oh my goodness! I thought that was part of your test to get your FCC license.
Oh yeah, I had to submit that with our Washington attorney last week.
And did you know that the average American eats 800 of these a year? That's chickens.
Oh my goodness!
Chicken, of course, is a very, very popular dish here in the United States.
Well, are you much of a chef or a cook, or do you pretty much leave that to Barb?
I make a macaroni and beef casserole type dish that everybody hates, Russ. I'll tell you what, I'm the only guy in the world that likes it.
But you like it real well.
Yes.
So you keep fixing it.
I used to make it for my kids, and they would find ways of hiding it.
Oh, my goodness.
so that they didn't have to eat it.
Now, see, that's the story they're going to tell at the funeral home. when you move on, they'll tell about how bad your cooking was.
Yeah. Well, no, I am actually married to one of the greatest cooks and especially one of the greatest bakers in the world.
Well, I'll do it.
She does things, especially at Christmas time, Barbara, that are just fantastic. We have friends over, and they can't get enough of her cream cheese bars especially. It's a chocolate cream cheese mixture, and it is just something that'll knock your socks off. And there are quite a few other things that she enjoys making, too.
Well, there she is. I have her on camera right now. Barb, the one that won the bread. Well, that was the side dish category last year? The bread, you said? Is that what it was? She won the bread category, or
yes,
the side dish.
Cracked ring bread. It was our cracked bread ring. It's a braided. It looks like a wreath, like a Christmas wreath, except of course it's not green.
All right. I noticed they're going to spare us the gourmet popcorn. They have a popcorn maker in the back.
They do.
I think we have enough to eat without getting the popcorn.
I wonder what you could do with popcorn besides make popcorn balls.
Well, I bet you could put some pretty good seasoning on it. Some people would even think of coconut and who knows what.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're waiting for Mark to come up and get things rolling here. Should be any minute.
Yeah, my guess is things will start about any minute now. And then we'll give Mark, he's bringing the microphone, so that'll be good. And we'll have right at it.
That's Mark.
Yeah. And he's being detained a little bit, but once we get up there, we'll give him the microphone and let him introduce himself and how this all works. I'm sure it'll be kind of interesting. He's a colorful gentleman. I think you'll find out. Eric Dirks will be taking some photos to capture this for you. And we'll put together a montage video.
One thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of foil on some of these items, so maybe they're not quite ready for sampling yet.
Well, the judges have to understand that it may not be piping hot, and I think they do, and I think they try to take that into consideration. There's just almost no way you can keep everything as hot as you would like.
Well, just take it outside. Let it sit out there for about 10 minutes.
Oh. Need this back. All right. And there's Mark right there. All right.
What time is it? Then why are we starting this? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know we've been doing this.
Can we get you to talk into this, please?
Sure. Wow, double-fisted. How long has that been? Okay. Hey, let's do this real quick. Who's a first-timer? Who's a newbie? Whoa, a bunch of newbies. All right. Who here has won before? Okay, you feel guilty about coming back to take my money. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th year we've been doing Grandma's Cook-Off. So because of that, because of this being the 10th year, we've actually added a couple of things. The gals that were putting this together, Rita and Lindsay, said, hey, Mark, it's a 10th year. What are you going to do special? I said, nothing. They said, oh, no, you need to do something special. And I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. I'll air condition the garage. Their answer back was, no, Mark, that's not what we're talking about. And I said, okay, ladies, what would be special? Well, what would be special, they answered back, was you should give away more money. I wasn't feeling very special at that point. But you know what? There was two of them, 2 girls, 1 boy. How did that work? I lost. Thank you. Thank you very much. So this year, we have special judges for an additional side judging for an extra $100. If in the event the lights go out here, it's because there was no money left to pay the light bill. Sorry, we'll finish in the dark. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's introduce to you our judges flown in from nowhere. But here they are in alphabetical order because it makes it easier. Marvel Alvitz, Eva Banks, Grant Gangwer, Kim Gangwer, Ken Hartman, Nancy Hicks, Connie Hinesley, Nancy Martin, Jan Shore, Wanda Smith, Doug Tyson, and Heather Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, there are your judges. And now what I would like to do as they take their respective positions, could I please have our three special judges come forward? Here's what we're going to be doing for that extra $100. You think I made it easy? No. Can you fix something that a teenager would like? Good luck. And if it ain't mac and cheese, it doesn't live, does it? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your special judges. I believe you're all involved in 4-H. Isn't that correct? So they're not amateurs. Do not look at these ladies as amateurs. These are professionals. Yes, they are professionals. We have Shelby Butler. Wave to Shelby. Yay! Emma Price. Yay! And Katie Stitsworth. Yay! Ladies, we have our special seats for you right here. What's going to occur this year? The judges are going to do their items. We're going to draw the hat for one category. One category. Then these three professional judges, thank you, will then go to that category and select the great-grandma $100 or grandpa giveaway. All right, so that's what we've got going today. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready? Do we have our judges in place? Miss Rita, do we have our servers in place? Boy, do I feel that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Grandma's Cook-Off. Let the judging begin.
And so it begins. The 4 categories are now being judged by the names that he just announced. And so we'll join up with some more interesting stories very shortly.
Am I using that for everything I announced? Or?
Yes, if you could.
Okay.
Okay, Russ, the judging has begun, or the sampling.
If Mark has time, I'd love to.
Yeah. Could we ask you just a few questions, Mark?
Yeah, sure.
Mark Genda, you have been doing this now for 10 years.
Yes.
You kind of explained this, but again, go over it. Why do you want to do it? Why do you do this?
Why do we do this? Okay. For many years, when I've been on my professional mode, I've heard families many times as they memorialize Grandma and Grandpa. One of the things that always comes out is, boy, Grandma fixed the best blank. Or Grandpa, he would always fix this at Christmas. And so I sat there for 20-some years thinking, why aren't we capturing those memories in a cook-off? So we can actually have Grandma show her stuff to everybody. So that's how the whole idea developed. It was me sitting and listening to families think about their people.
How many entries did you have that first time? Do you remember?
You know, I don't. We've actually we've had always above 40, even in the first year, which I was really pleased with. This year, we're close to 60 entries, so I'm excited.
Well, this really is a big success. 57, I believe, is the number.
Yeah.
Which makes it at or about the record.
Yes.
It's become a very popular thing. I've seen it in the newspaper and on Herbert on Wilo and everything for quite some time.
Well,
so this is a big deal.
Well, thank you, because I want to bring something up. Wilo and the Frankfurt Times have both been very supportive of what we're doing here. Again, it's a very neighborhood event. It's a very grassroots kind of thing that we're doing. But I think it's enjoyed by many. In fact, I know that there was 2 cars that pulled in. I said, well, what are you bringing in today? He said, oh, we're not here to cook anything. We're here to observe and have a snack afterwards. So I think the word's getting out how this all works.
Well, I know that last time when you got all done, you let the people have samples of what they wanted. Not only the ones that won, but the ones that came close. And I just thought it was terrific.
Was that the first year you've been here last year?
That was
or?
the first time I've been here. Barb has been in the contest a couple of times.
Okay, all right. So
she went for her red ring last year.
So. Okay, all right. Well, like I said, it's been an event that I now have people stopping, or we all have people stopping us saying, hey, Grandma's Cook-Off, when is that this year? So I think that means it's got some footing, it's got some leg holds. And there's going to be, later on today, you're going to hear an announcement of a pretty big change in Grandma's Cook-Off as we move into the next year, or next year's, I would rather say.
That's to be...
TBA, to be announced.
Tell us about the cookbook. This is something. This weighs a lot.
Well, it should. It's got 9 years of recipes in it. And no, the cookbook actually was not my idea. It was spurred by the people coming to this event. And here's what I mean. After about the second or third year, we had people saying, hey, Mark, where's your cookbook? Where's your cookbook? Well, I never thought of that. I don't know why, but I said, okay, well, we needed to get a few years in there to make it worthwhile. So about 5 years ago, we put together Grandma's Cook-Off cookbook. And in the front of it, it has the winners of each year, of each category. And then after that, of course, it's broken down by categories. But you're right, it's starting to get thicker as we go along. We always add new recipes. If someone buys a cookbook, we always add the new recipes from last year to their cookbook for them.
So it's always updated.
Always updated.
Does anything jump into your mind, some of the odd recipes and the odd items that have gone through the contest?
Well, it's interesting. You would say, I don't know if I want to use the word odd, but there's always a couple of recipes that always stick with me. And it's funny, they're both soups. I love soups. I'm a hearty guy. I lean more towards a hearty palate than I do a sweet palate. But there's 2 soups in here. I know that I believe Marcy Rissy has her grandmother's soup in here is one that I think about. And Rose Lashbrook has another. And those are just 2 that I remember off the top of my head. And hers was like a green pepper soup or something like that. But I mean, it's in the cookbook here. And it is just out of this world. I don't know if you're a soup guy or not, but are you? Okay. In the winter, you know, here it is in the winter. It's 88 degrees outside in second day of fall, but winter is coming, I've heard.
I think you're absolutely right. We'll be talking to you a little bit later on. I'm going to go see if I can kind of eavesdrop just a little bit and see what they're looking at.
Sounds like a good idea. You enjoy your eavesdropping.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
Mark Genda, whose great idea was Grandma's Cook-Off, which is in its 10th year right now. Can you tell me what you are looking for here?
I am looking for originality and taste, presentation. Everything looks good.
How many of these do you have here? This is the dessert table, right?
We have
18? Do you do anything to cleanse your palate? Do you
We have
champagne or something?
no champagne, just water.
Now, I guess I can't say anything here, but boy, does that look good. And does that look good? And
It all looks good.
how do you, let me ask you, how do you decide?
One bite at a time.
Do you whittle it down, start with, did you say 17 items here? And drop down to your top 5 and try again or anything like that?
We only get one shot at it, unfortunately, so we only get to taste these one time. But then we just score them, and between the 3 of us, the total score wins.
All right, well, good luck. It's a daunting task.
I think I'm up for it.
Well, that's very interesting, Dennis. Thank you for those insights and interviews. We are continuing to just monitor it. It'll take some time to work through, a whole table of taste testing. And boy, that has to be a tough job to try to pick out one of so many And then, of course, that's why the judges consult with each other. And were they working off a score sheet?
Yes, they had 1 through 5, and I saw a couple of numbers marked down, but they're absolutely meaningless to me because, for one thing, we don't have the names out here. We've just got numbers at this point.
Oh, yeah, so there's no name attached to anything.
Right.
It's simply a number. I like number 4. I like number 17 or whatever.
Precisely.
Uh-huh. Well, that's good. And I think the air conditioning was a great idea.
Absolutely.
They had this thing chilled down. When I first came here to set the equipment up, they had the lights off and everything was getting chilled down really nicely. So that was
Well,
good.
on a day like this, because if you walk out there on the parking lot, it is rather unpleasant.
But it's quite comfortable here. And we can see our youth judges are waiting their turn. I see the 3 ladies there with the 4-H. Do you want to go and
I'm going to go over and talk to them.
Okay, yeah, that might be good. They don't have anything to do now. So Dennis is going to go and talk to the youth judges. This should be interesting.
Hi, this is Wilo TV. Tell me, who are you?
I'm Shelby Butler.
Shelby, when you have to wait till it's over, then you get to do your judging, right?
Yes.
Are you going to try to sample 57 different things? Oh, no, they're going to tell you what category.
Yes.
You don't know yet.
No.
Okay. And you are?
Emma Price.
Tell me about the responsibility.
Well, we have to figure out. Well, we get drawn about what dish we're doing, and then we get to go and we get to judge it based on presentation, aroma, taste, and originality, and then we have to answer if an 8-year-old would love it. So we have to think back to when we were 8 and whether we would love it or not.
See, that sounds like pizza to me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. When they told you that you were going to be one of the judges, how did you feel?
When they told me, I was kind of a little surprised because I've judged things before in 4-H, like little kids mini 4-H, but I didn't know how I would judge older people in like judging a grandma's recipe, because I think my grandma's recipes are always really good, but that's just me.
Well, now, how old are you?
I'm 17.
You're 17, and
Yeah.
you got to go back clear to
I gotta go
about-
back to, what is that, 2nd grade, and think, what did I like in 2nd grade?
So what will you be looking at in terms of an 8-year-old, 2nd grader?
Well, you got to think of the flavor. Mostly, it's about the flavor, whether or not it's like too spicy or too bland, the right consistency, the right texture, everything.
Now, when you were that old, did you get rid of stuff and not try to eat stuff
Yeah.
that was good for you?
I looked at how it looked. I'm like, if it's green, maybe not. That's how every little kid thinks.
We don't want anything green. I know that. When you got the word that you were going to be a judge, how did you feel?
I was a little nervous because I've watched those judges at 4-H, and I was a little scared, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Now, which category do you hope you get?
I kind of hope we get main dishes. It looks really good.
Main dishes. I've been watching them the entire time, and they all look so good.
Are you in agreement?
Ooh, I'm in dessert.
All right. Well, there. Those are the 4-H kids. They're going to judge when the main judging is over. They will be given a category. They don't know what the category is right now, but they will learn. Then they will take their samples and determine what an 8-year-old would like.
While the judging is going on, I've got a couple of questions for you, because I consider everyone in here to be a very well-qualified cook. Is that correct? You will be a very qualified eater. All right, so here's a couple of questions for you just to test yourselves. Oh, and by the way, they come with prizes too, the correct answers. So don't be shouting anything out there. By a raise of a hand, who can answer this question? What is the name for a meat dish made from finely chopped raw beef, often served with onions, capers, seasoning, and raw egg? Yes. Not goulash. Yes. Steak tartare. Congratulations. And so what did you win? Well, I don't either. Actually, you won 2 tickets to the Lions Club pork dinner next. Yeah, all right. See how easy that is? That wasn't tough, was it? Okay. Ready for the next question. Ready for the next question, because behind door number 2 could be a new car.
Or not.
Wow, you people are easy. All right, here we go. Ready? Durberry is a cream of vegetable soup. What vegetable? Durberry is a cream of vegetable soup. Which vegetable? Yes, sir. It is not potato. Yes. It is not squash. Yes. No, I don't have a leek. No. No, it is not leeks. Yes. No, it is not turnip. No, it is not zucchini. It is not beets. It is not asparagus. What? No. I will repeat the question. I'll repeat the question. Durberry is a cream of vegetable soup. Which vegetable? Yes. Did you say broccoli? You're wrong. But I'm glad you could say broccoli. Yes. Durberry. Yes. Yeah, it's Durberry soup is made from not carrots, not kale, not tomato, not parsnips, not celery, not Brussels sprouts. Yes. Not peas, not corn, not green beans, not onion. Cauliflower is the right answer. This is a very smart group. There's 87 people in here. And the 86th person wins 2 tickets to the pork loin dinner of the Lions Club. All right. So here we go. It's our final question. Ladies, you can, I know you knew that all along, didn't you? You can't do it. You can't do this. You're judges. Okay. All right. The average person, who in here is average? No, you're all above average. You know that. Okay. The average person eats 800 of these in a lifetime. The average person, what do you guys eat in a lifetime 800 times? What is it? No. Yes. The young lady in the hat, yes. No. Yes. Insects. I love insects, but no. What kind of bug are you? All right, the average person, I'll read it again because I'll go slower this time. Maybe I'm reading too fast. The average person eats 800 of these in a lifetime. Yes. Eggs? No. No. Yes. Bananas. I love bananas. No. Yes. Pizza? That'd be 8,000. Are you kidding? What would you eat 800 of? Yes. No. Who can find mushrooms? Yes, all the way in the back. Hot dogs. Armor hot dogs. No. Yes. Cows. Okay, everybody, I want you to see this young lady. Do you want to show us what 800 cows look like? I can't even eat 800 cows. So look at this. Yes. Heads of lettuce. No. Yes. What? What did you say? Did you say chickens? Well, you're right. The average person eats 800 chickens. Oh, wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we'll ask any more of those questions. Those were too tough. All right, how's the judging going? Where are we at over here? What number are you on? You're on 10? All right. Let me see the desserts. We have 18 of them, and they're on 11 and 12. Who here brought desserts? Who here brought desserts? I can't wait to try those Mambos. All right, we've got 16 side dishes. Boy, we got a lot of people this year. Look out. Okay. Where's our category judging hat? Rita? Where's our category judging hat? The secret surprise hat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have our secret surprise hat here. Flown all the way in from Secret Surprisea. Who do we have? You know what, Miss? Would you do me a favor? Would you reach into the super duper hat here and pull out one? Just one. Just one. Thank you very much. All right. Now I need to get rid of the super surprise hat. John, Larry, Jarrett, Larry, John. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember I told you about that extra $100 that we have our special super judges for? Here's the category right here that they will be judging. Ladies, would you please open the secret super envelope and let us know what you'll be judging for the extra $100?
Main dish.
That's
Main dish. Who had main dish today? You, with your hands held high, have an opportunity to win an extra $100. How do you like that? Me personally, I don't care for it, but I hope you appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. No further announcements at this time.
That was the category that the youth wanted. They were hoping for the main dish category, and that's what they got. They were looking at that all morning long or early afternoon, Dennis.
Well, two of the kids said that they wanted main dish, and one said dessert.
That's right.
She loves sugar,
two-thirds.
But there'll be an extra $100 for someone in the main dish category.
Let me see if I can get a close-up of some of these desserts here. That looks pretty tempting, doesn't it?
They look terrific. Mark?
Did you see this cake over here?
No.
Isn't that beautiful?
Pardon me. Oh, yeah.
Everything's good.
Yeah, look at that custard pie.
I'm looking at it strong. It's going to be a race to the finish on that one.
How many entries did we get in the main dish, do you know?
I think we're about 11 or 12 over there, I believe. Carly, do you know how many people we have over in the main dish category? No? Okay. Well, she was very strong in that also.
Yes.
I heard no hesitation in her voice.
Nope, none whatsoever.
None,
How do you feel about the way things are going so far, Mark?
Well, according to all the faces out there, it looks like it's going okay. Ooh, there is that one grandma back there. I see her sharpening her, what is that? It's a butcher's knife. That's not good. I think I may not be at 10. We have 10 main dishes, okay?
10?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I think before the judging's over, I think I'll let you go back there and talk to that one grandma with the butcher's knife.
Oh, no. I'll let you talk.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes too many arms on one body's too much anyway.
Now, I noticed that they're throwing certain samples away. Is that a bad sign for an entrant? Or?
No. Have you ever judged an eating contest before?
No, I never have.
Okay, I've judged. I'll never forget this. It's kind of a funny story. I was asked to judge a couple times by one of, I think, your sponsors, Shoops. Mm-hmm. They asked me to judge out at the 4-H for their cook-offs. And I never forget, I went out there the first time, and I was enjoying this great beef and pork chops and chicken. And I was eating it and loving it until about an hour later. I didn't realize you weren't supposed to swallow it. I walked out of there. I'm not kidding you. I looked like I swallowed a basketball that day. So, no, when you judge an eating contest, the rule of thumb is one bite, maybe two, get a texture, get a flavor, and be done. Okay? Because you just can't, especially when you're doing sweets, you got to be really careful that you don't go on an overload.
Now, does it make a difference whether it's the first thing you taste or the last? Or
No, I think, again, the judges have water, and a lot of these, well, especially I look over here over my shoulder, anyone who's in the Frankfurt area knows Marvel Albitz. Marvel has participated in countless county fairs. She's been a judge of ours for a long time here in this dessert category. She just really has her stuff together on this. Oops, I see some judges are leaving. And I think what we're going to do is, since we're going to get the young ladies started on their main dish judging. Okay? So, thank you. Rita, are we to the point where they're going to start judging these? The girls are?
Yes.
So you guys are going to have a couple people getting that ready?
Yes.
Okay, you want to cut desserts? Because they're going to need cut here real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we still have judging going on, so we're going to let them do their thing, and they're going to be judging over here still, but we have our judges right here. How about we get you young ladies started on the special category of the main dishes? Would you like to do that? Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring them up here. Wait a minute. Is anybody related to these girls here? Okay, just checking. Hey, you want to get down there and help them? Because we got to get this moving. Carly, we need somebody over there to help Deidre get those girls moving along. Okay? Deb, why don't you go? You're helping them?
I
understand.
Obviously making some preparations for the next part of the contest, which is the judges are dismissed, and then the people that are here can enjoy a feast of great food that Clinton County has prepared for them. We have 57 contestants today in 4 different categories, and so we're really, I'm sure people are looking forward to sampling desserts, side dish, entree, and also the soups. Well, Dennis, it's certainly been an adventure so far. What do you think?
Oh, I think this has been a lot of fun. Let's kind of go over what we're doing here. This, of course, is the 10th annual Grandma's Cook-Off. And, of course, it is sponsored by Genda Funeral Home. And Mark explained that it came about because they had so many eulogies and so many comments during funeral services about what a wonderful cook Grandma or even Grandpa was. And they said, why don't we do this while people are still with us? So they're doing it. And it pays handsomely, $300 first place for each category. And, of course, there's a $100 bonus. The 4-H kids are over there. Now, they're sampling right now. And they're going to make up their minds on what the best main dish is. And that person, the winner, will get an extra $100.
And as we know, 2 of the 3 youth judges wanted that category they got. The other one wanted the desserts.
That's right.
They basically got their wish.
Pretty well, yes. Majority rules.
And looks like Mark is, they're cutting desserts now. They've discovered in 10 years you learn a lot of tricks, and I'm sure cutting dessert is a good technique. It makes the line move much better, so that's what they're doing right now in preparation for the people to enjoy the meals.
Well, it sounds like desserts are the most popular category, or at least the biggest category with, did he say 18 different entries? And they've got to decide which of all of those 18 entries, which one is the best. And it can't be easy.
No, I'm sure it can't. And, if you have 3 or 4 different judges in each category, you might have 2 or 3 different top choices, and then they have to discuss, and make an argument for what their choice might be. I have never judged a food contest. But you picked up a couple hints there from Mark.
Well, yeah, I did know that you can't gorge yourself. You have to just taste it. It's merely a tasting because you'll be too full, and pretty soon even the best things aren't going to taste very good. And it looks like these people know what they're doing. I know these judges have done it before, and probably at the fair and other places too, so they know what they're doing. I think this food is in good hands.
I think so too. While you're talking, I'm going to get some close-up. I noticed this is an opportunity to get some close-up of these desserts, so I'll do that.
Well, we did mention that the Grandma's Cook-Off Recipes, it's a big book. It contains 10 years worth of entries. It's available here at Genda Funeral Home. And as I pointed out when we began the program, they've had a wide range of different foods that are quite colorful. Of course, they go like barbecue ribs, and then line dancer chili. And if you look at the ingredients, it must be pretty stout. Oh, and then there's mini tacos and rich banana pudding and Southwest loaded chicken breast, some of the winners in the past, layered spaghetti casserole, one of my favorites, Frankfurt hot dog casserole. But we'll find out what the entries were this year a little bit later on, and find out who won, of course. That's probably coming up in the next half hour or so.
Boy, this is making me hungry, Dennis.
Oh, I had just a little bite around noon. I am really looking forward to this.
Yeah, they put the dessert table right in front of us. That's no fair.
Now, the judges have already been deliberating on the main course, and we have our 4-H kids over there right now that they're sampling. It looks like they're just about done on everything except desserts because there are so many.
Eric Dirks is clicking away, as you can see.
And the judges are now retiring.
Oh, there we go.
Grandma's cook-off portion, and we're still working on the main dish. Now, as we're getting ready to, you all know what happens after the judging ends, don't you? You all go home, and we had a great time, and oh, there's that. You know, actually, I had 2 people pull in here a little while ago, and I said, okay, what are you going to enter? They said, well, we're not here to enter. Wait a minute, I think the word got out. So, here in just a moment, as soon as the ladies get done judging, we're going to do what my mom always said, and I've shared it with you every year, so I'm not going to change now. Mom always said, things taste better, Mark, when you share. And you know what? My mom was always right, at least in my mind. So there is a story I want to share with you, though, because it's for anybody in here appreciate animals. You all like animals and things? I mean, most people like animals most of the time. So the other day, there was this gentleman, I'll tell you a really beautiful story about this little doggy. He was holding this doggy in his arm, and another guy walked up. He said, wow, that is a beautiful little doggy. He said, yes, isn't it? He said, the only problem is that the doggy doesn't have any legs. Oh, the guy stepped back, and he said, oh, you know what, though? He said, it's still a cute little dog. What's its name? The guy holding the dog stepped back for a minute and said, what difference does that make? He's not going to come when you call him. Well, it's still a cute little dog. Anyway, all right. So once again, as soon as we get that done, we know this. We know that as soon as the judging's done over here in the corner, we know that in the back there we have all kinds of service for you. Napkins, bowls, plates, that we're going to start cutting the desserts up for you. Thank you for everyone who brought everything in full dish-wise. We know that also if I don't do this, she'll cut me off the knees with her cane. We know that Ruth is here in the back with her cards for our veterans, and it is a good cause. So if you would like to help with Aunt Ruth, thank you. If you'd like to help with Aunt Ruth, sign a card, send a birthday card to a vet, know that it would be appreciated. Right, Ruth? Right, Ruth. Thank you very much. All right. Also know at the end of the day today, see, here's a nice thing about Grandma's Cook-Off. Everybody's a winner. That doesn't mean everybody wins $300 though. But everybody leaves with something. So back there behind those two gentlemen, would you present those for the people? Just throw your arms up there. There you go. Yes. Thank you, Nick. We brought Nick in as our GQ. Yeah, anyway. Back there, you're going to find chip clips with Grandma's Cook-Off on them. Those are also holding our Vita boards. And if you want to know more about the Vita boards, they're actually something that all of you should have in your house. We'll have someone back there talking to you about Vita boards if you'd like to have one and learn about those. If not, please take a chip clip. I find those things really great to have. So, how are we doing back there? Good? Yeah? All right.
Well, Dennis, looks like it's getting close to time for people to enjoy what's...
Let me ask Mark, how long do you think it'll take for the judges to make up their minds?
Well, looking at what I see here today, I bet it's going to be a little longer than normal because I see we have more participants this year. And I don't know if you've walked around, which I think you have, because I see some little bit of salivating on the side of your mouth. Or you might have to clean that up. But I think I see a lot of wonderful dishes here today. So I think it may be tough on the judges this year.
Why do you think it's become so popular?
I think it's because I think people are more and more looking for a reason to get together versus not be together. And I think when you put something together where people can come and have camaraderie, and you know what, there's also the whole idea of challenge and winning something, and I think that's a draw too. And maybe the $300.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. A lot of contests, they give you a plaque or a trophy or a ribbon or something like that. This is real cash, and it's not inconsequential.
Well, thank you. It's interesting when you say that. I remember when I first started this out, I thought, well, how much should I give away? So it's an arbitrary number I pulled out of the air. And I walked in, the first time I walked in to put a flyer up someplace, and a lady grabbed it, she looked at it, she goes, huh. My mom wouldn't get off the couch for $300, and I thought, well, maybe that's not enough. But I guess some other moms got off the couch here today, and so they think $300 is a significant number.
No, I think 300 is great.
Yeah,
it can come in handy.
But here's the thing: it's not only the money. Have you seen those aprons up there on the wall? Not only do they get money, but do you and you have one in your repertoire, don't you?
We do, and she wears it.
Does she wear it? Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be taken in the jest that it's meant in, and I think that it is. I think the spirit of the cook-off is, when we say drop dead delicious, I think the spirit is taken correctly. So
let me ask you about your sense of humor.
Sure.
It is a little off the wall.
Oh, you know what? Here's the thing. What I really like, another thing I like about this event is when people come here, they're not coming here in a state of mourning to the Genda Funeral Home today. They're coming here in a state of celebration. And it's kind of nice to have the other side of the coin. You know, in life, you're going to have the good and the bad. It's called the yin-yang, right? So what we're doing today is the white part of the yin-yang. We're having a celebration, and everybody's gathered here to have a good time and to smile and laugh and hear my corny joke. Well, they can't get away from that, can they? I guess I have them trapped.
I like the one about the dog.
You like the dog joke?
Well,
Okay.
in case people are wondering, it says drop dead delicious. The Genda Funeral Home and putting family first.
Yes.
That's your motto.
It is.
And of course, this kind of brings that home.
You know, thank you for that. Thanks for recognizing that. I wouldn't have automatically put that together, but you're right. I mean, this is a family event. In fact, if you looked out here, you'll see some really young faces out here, and they're here to support Grandma and Grandpa. I keep saying Grandma, I gotta watch out, man. There's been several years Grandpas have won. If you look at the cookbook, you'll see a lot of men's names in there. Yeah,
absolutely. But of course, it primarily is women, but still, they do such a wonderful job.
Oh, that's right. They do, and again, it's a real sense of pride with what these ladies do here. When they should be, doggone it. If you're good at what you do, what's wrong with that? And I think some of these grandmas are pretty good at what they do.
Well, I think Frankfort, Indiana, and this whole part of the country is noted in part for its good cooking. There are a lot of good cooks around here.
Right. I agree with you. So I bet we got some here today. I bet we're going to have 4 of them here anyway. Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
All right.
Thank you, Mark.
They're still cutting some desserts now. I know Carly is working on that beautiful, beautiful walnut cake.
They're almost ready to wrap up here, so I think I'm tired late. No, look at these girls are doing a good job. I saw that face behind me. No, they're doing a great job. They need to do what they need to do. We need to do what we need to do, right? Which, let's sample this stuff. So let's do this. Let's let them have their area. But if you want to partake and start with sides, desserts, and soups, feel free. Knock yourself out. Like I said, there's service there at the back. Let's go ahead and try some of this stuff. How about that?
And there's the general announcement for folks to come and enjoy.
Yeah, they're letting the people now take advantage of all these great dishes. Mark, will we get anybody booing if they think the wrong thing won?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What?
No, I'm sure there won't be. But I imagine there might be a little bit of disappointment because this is semi-serious to a lot of folks. It's a real good time here at the Genda Funeral Home. The crowd is now starting to sample the food, going around getting their utensils. And our 4-H'ers are over there sampling the entrees. Again, you're watching Wilo TV, and it's the 10th annual Grandma's Cook-Off, sponsored by Genda Funeral Home, which has been involved in this since the very, very beginning. And as Mark explained to us, it's because so often at a funeral, we hear that the deceased is a very, very good cook, and that was one of the things that he or she loved to do, and now it gives people a chance to do it while they're still living. It's a wonderful idea, and again, it plays into Mark's good sense of humor.
Absolutely, and we also are able to capture that in the Grandma's Cook-Off recipe book, which is $20, and then I think that those proceeds actually go to a nonprofit cause as well. And Dennis, we do have a recipe book. And one of these days, maybe after retirement, we're going to be able to enjoy it. It seems like we use the microwave more than we really should.
I know what you mean.
Oh, Lordy. But they do look tempting, no question about it. And it looks like Eric Dirks has his plate ready to go. Yes, sir. Have plate will travel.
I wonder if there's enough to go around.
Oh, I think so.
Think so?
I think so. I think we'll be fine. Maybe not on the first and second place item, though.
Maybe that's why they're getting a jump on it.
Yeah, maybe so.
There won't be a run on the winners.
You're watching WILOTV.com. If you're just down the street, you could probably come and enjoy. And if you're watching this on the archive version, well, good luck. You can do it next year. But by the way, come to the Senior Fair. It's the 27th of September. The Senior Fair is a Wednesday, September the 27th. Jason Wells will be there. We also have about 50 booths. This will be one of our biggest years ever. In fact, I think it is our biggest year ever, Dennis, at the Community Life Center. And Genda will be there at the Senior Fair as well. And you can talk menu stories and whatever. But he'll be down on the west end, always is, and so you'll be able to connect with a lot of people in the community. The senior fair on the 27th of September, free lunch for everybody, and also free breakfast for everybody, and no charge for admission as well.
The senior fair has also become a major part of Clinton County and Frankfort.
It is quite a party, and when you go to feed as many people as we do that day, we're happy to be able to do that. And the grand prize this year will be from Imperial Travel, a $200 voucher and a beef and boards voucher for 2 in the blue seating area, and that's about a $140 value. So we're going to play the passport game. You know what the passport game is?
No.
That's where you go around to each exhibitor, and they have a color crayon that's a specific color just for them. And you have a chance to talk to everybody, and once you fill out your sheet, you turn it in. If we look at it and all the color is in good shape, and we draw it randomly, then you'll win all those goodies.
Great.
So you have a choice between the $200 cash or $200 for the grand prize, plus the beef and boards dinner theater for 2 in the best seating area in the house.
That is great. I've been to beef and boards quite often, and it is a real experience.
Yeah, and they've been very successful over many, many years.
Absolutely. In fact, when I first came to work at WILO and Shine 99 many years ago, that was one of the things we talked about quite a bit, was beef and boards.
Yeah, that's great. Yep. And the bid for bargains and whatnot.
Yep. Oh, of course, there was the WILO auction, and bringing back some memories, Russ.
Yeah. Were you in there for the very first auction we did?
I don't believe it was the first one, but it was right after it started.
That has really, been interesting too. We've auctioned off cars and pickup trucks and who knows what,
One thing I remember is you'd get things going by auctioning off a $100 bill.
That's right, we still do that.
And somebody would drive in from Mulberry or something to get $1.
Yeah, they bid $99 on it,
But it was all done in fun.
Yeah, oh yeah. And most of the time they buy something else and it's a $5 discount or something. So you're watching WILOTV.com live and worldwide, and this will be archived and up on the channel as well. We hope you enjoy today. I see one of our own WILO's news director, Ken Hartman. Maybe he's changed his judging status, and now he's into a consumer status because he's got that plate. It looks like he's ready to go. Even after judging, he's ready to sample some things, it looks like.
I'm going to go out here, Russ, and talk to a couple of people and get an idea of what they think of the food that they're eating. I don't know how many people have started eating yet, but they are filling up their plates. I'm going to go say hi to Ken here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, they have now finished judging I just watched the last noodle go in. They have now finished judging the main dishes, so please feel free. All the tables are open.
Don't even talk to me.
I want to ask you, how in the world you do this?
I saw that.
I've done this now for about 4 or 5 years, and it's getting to the point where I kind of know what to expect, and as long as it doesn't irritate my stomach too much, I'm fine. Really, it's to me it's about taste and would I have it or would I serve it to my family. That's how I kind of look at it.
Well, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I think that's the way you have to look at this. I mean, presentation is so hard, and aroma is kind of up to your own. She would be doing that. Yeah, but no, that's what I think you have to go by.
And did something stand out?
We were doing main dishes. We had a lot of very good things, and we finally decided on one that we thought was, a little bit better than the other ones.
And we'll find out what that is.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Ken, thank you. So, I'm going to ask you. You got a mouthful of food? Are you saying it's hot?
No, it's not hot.
Okay, good.
The heat is. This ain't.
All right, what do you think of this?
Well, I don't know yet.
Okay.
It might be hot. Bigger taste.
But is it good?
Yeah, that's good. Any food's good, isn't it?
Well, I think so, yeah. I'm going to talk to the 4-H girls here. Okay, have you made your decision yet?
Not yet.
We got to go talk it all over.
Okay, how tough was it, or how tough is it going to be?
There was a couple that were very, very good and had very beautiful presentation, very nice flavor. It's so good.
But you got to look at it as an 8-year-old.
I know, that's tricky.
What did you think of it?
I thought they were all really good, and there's a few that I think an 8-year-old would love to have.
Very good. And do you agree with that there's a lot of stuff that an 8-year-old
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that an 8-year-old would like. And there's some stuff that they would like, but maybe not this part they wouldn't like, and so forth.
Yeah, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose.
That's right.
Thank you, girls. Well, the people are just dishing it up here. Oh, these things look so darn good. This is unbelievable.
I think if we take.
Pardon me.
We're within probably minutes of Mark making the $300 announcement for main dish or entree, dessert, for side dish, and for soup. And your host, Dennis Bergendorf's wife, last year won in the side dish category with the bread.
That's right, the cracked wheat bread ring, made in the form of a wreath. And we were very, very excited to win that. And that money certainly did come in handy.
Especially after you paid your taxes on it.
Please don't get into that, Russ.
Oh, well, there we go. It is a lot better. Can you imagine if we didn't have this air conditioned? It's fairly comfortable in here.
Now, last year it wasn't air conditioned, was it?
I don't think so. And of course, on a nice September day, late September, you can often count on a beautiful day. But I will say that the heat this week is bordering on oppressive, right?
Yes, it really is. And especially if they get up to 93 or 94 tomorrow. I can't believe it for late September.
And I really should be back in school. Remember that song?
Yeah.
It's late September and I really should be back in school.
Yeah, Rod Stewart, yes.
Rod Stewart, yeah. Well, this is the time of year he was talking about.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the audience out here, the family members and friends and contestants are really enjoying the food.
Yeah, I see a lot of togetherness, and like Mark Genda said, it's more enjoyable when you can share it together. And that's exactly what's going on right now, as you can see. I can remember back when this was a Hartman funeral home, and back many, many years ago.
Well, I think about the time that I came to Frankfurt, it was Fry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was Hartman, then Fry, then Genda. Back in the old days, they used to have, they didn't have ambulances, so they had their own, they would actually respond to accidents. Remember those days?
Yes.
They had the bubblegum light on the top, and they would actually go to the accidents.
That's right.
Because they were 24 hours a day.
And I believe they were Cadillacs.
Uh-huh. And then Ralph Nader said, that's probably not a very good idea. He was probably right. And so the rest is history. Things change over time.
Well, we've certainly seen some changes here in Frankfurt.
Yes, and even the technology to bring this to you on a device that you carry around in your pocket, you can watch this, or on your tablet. The technology changes, and yet something I suppose that doesn't change are relationships and food.
That's right.
A great gathering around a table. That's kind of timeless, isn't it?
It is timeless. And that's one of the reasons why we enjoyed moving here to Frankfort, is that there is more of a sense of home, perhaps, than you find in certain places. I did live in Chicago for a year, quite a long time ago, but we had some friends, but it's so impersonal in a city like that. And even Indianapolis is big enough that you encounter some impersonality there that you don't get in a small town like Frankfort.
Yeah, I can remember I was doing some work back in the mid-'70s, and some towns they knew their neighbors and who was down the street. Some towns they had no clue. They did not know. Sometimes, who was one or two houses away.
Mm-hmm.
They did not know their neighbor. But I think, for the most part, in Clinton County, we do. Well, the line is thinning out. Here comes the music.
I'm hoping that's signaling the announcement of the winners.
Maybe so.
You are watching the Grandma's Cook-Off, the 10th annual Grandma's Cook-Off, sponsored by Genda Funeral Home in Frankfort. 57 entries this year, which is, if not a record, certainly close to it. A lot of enthusiasm this year in 4 different categories. Of course, they are main dish, side dish, salad, or side dish or salad, soup, and dessert. And as an extra this year, 3 4-H'ers are judging, but they're trying to put themselves in the place of an 8-year-old to see what kind of a main course an 8-year-old would like. But they have made their choice, and we're going to find out what it is here pretty soon.
And Dennis, if you want to make a blitz run, feel free. I can kind of handle things here, and then you can even talk about it a little bit if you like. Do you want to sample some things?
Why not? Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just take it from here. So Dennis Bergendorf is going to go ahead and check it out, and he's got a decision to make. He might go to the desserts. He might go to the side dishes. He might go to the entrees, or he might go to the soups. Maybe he'll even mix and match all that. So he's taking kind of a stretch break here. Mark Genda will be coming up front to make an announcement of the judge's decision. It looks like the entree decision has already been made and turned in. I know that because they were one of the first to leave, and also Ken Hartman has come back. He was one of the judges. He said they already did make their decision. So that's coming down the pike. Everybody is sampling right now. The tables, the serving tables, have actually kind of thinned out, and so we'll see what Dennis thinks. He's got his plate, and he's making his rounds that way. Grandma's Cook-Off. And, of course, they have a recipe book of the last 10 years or so that you can purchase, Grandma's Cook-Off recipes. I'll get a close-up right now, and you can see what that book looks like. There it is right there. And then you can add to it each year, and the $20 proceeds go to a nonprofit to benefit charity as well. Recipes. A recipe actually is one of the requirements as you enter. They do ask that you get a recipe as part of your submission. Looks like Mark is working hard. He's trying to monitor when is the right time to make his announcements. I don't know whether he has all the results or not. Again, there are actually 5 winners. So Dennis, are you smiling?
Have you ever tried soup on a stick?
Soup on a stick. Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, I've got soup on a plate here, but boy, is it good.
Oh,
and another dish that's chicken. I'm not sure what it is, but oh, is it good. Now I'm going to try that dessert.
All right.
It's one of the best looking things I've seen yet. It must have blueberry in it, graham cracker, but the color is just astounding. It's just amazing, Russ.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I'll get a close-up of that, too. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. It has some rich royal blue and purple added to it, and yeah, somebody's taking it on right now. You can see why. And I can almost guarantee it's not the low-calorie version, is it?
Hey, I'll bet there aren't too many low-cal items here in the Grandma's Cook-Off this year.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the French, they're known for their cooking, and they're not necessarily known for sparing the cream and the butter.
That's right. I wonder how many French dishes we do have here.
They say the best chefs in the world, I heard someplace, and I don't know whether this is true, are not necessarily in this order: French, Chinese, Italian, and Turkish. Turkish because of the shish kebab and so forth. Now, maybe it was Itan that told me that. But
Itan Rogowski.
Yeah, she was from Turkey.
But she made the best baklava in the world.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. You got baklava, you have shish kebab and so forth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that made sense to me. And, of course, Italian, I mean, who can argue with pizza and lasagna and so forth? Mm-hmm. And, of course, the Chinese food. I mean, there's such a lot of variety there. So I don't think the English made that list.
Probably not, and I'm wondering how Hoosiers did.
Yeah, boiled potatoes maybe would not top the top list there. Yeah, we're definitely causing trouble. So yeah, I saw that. So, how are you doing, Mr. Ken?
I'm all right. A little full right this minute.
I'll bet. So I'm sure it's a top secret, and you'll have to kill me if you tell me who you voted for.
I'm not going to kill you, so I'm not going to tell you either.
That'd be another news story you get a scoop on.
That's true. We had we were on the main dishes. We had a lot of various things that just basically are a lot of the same. So we didn't have anything that really super stood out, but it was a good time. It's all very good stuff.
When things look nice, it's hard to have a beautiful sunset stand out if they're all beautiful,
Do I have just a minute to
Sure.
make a couple comments?
Absolutely.
This is Mark Genda from Genda Funeral Home. I'd like to take an opportunity to interview Don. I understand you, Dennis.
Yeah.
I see that you have a plate in front of you, Dennis. And what do you think about the cook-off so far?
Oh, well, the 4 items that I just ate were tremendous. I don't know how a judge could possibly choose.
Well, actually, I saw the amount that you had on your plate, and I wasn't going to comment. Normally, a judge will take a bite or two.
Yeah, well, I ate enough here for a meal.
Well, I saw you take a bite or two, and then two, and then two, and so. But overall, you felt that it was a pretty good event.
I still haven't tried this good-looking. Now, what is this?
It looks to be a blueberry, don't you think?
That's exactly what it is. Oh, that is so good.
You like that?
Oh.
Well, it was nice to have you here, and I'm glad that your hard work today allowed you to be here.
Oh, yeah, this is so hard, getting to eat this food and talk to these nice people.
Well, thank you for being here, both you and Russ. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was Mark Genda, owner of Genda Funeral Home. And by the way, they're also in Mulberry, Rossville, in Flora as well. Looks like things are happening. This might be when Mark parts ways with about $1,200 to $1,300.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, test. Okay, so the judges there's still a couple things going on there, but overall, what do you think? I walked by a young gentleman a moment ago and he went, ugh. Now I don't know how that translates in English, but in full tumminess, I said that's pretty good, right? Okay. Well, like I said, we're waiting just on the final judges to come in, and we do have all the other categories selected. I asked the judges, I said, hey, looky there, our special judges. Can we have our special judges up here for just a minute, please? I just need one. Let me have all of it, actually. You just rip one off for me. Okay, special judges. There's a lot of people waiting to hear from you. So, not only, ladies and gentlemen, not only do you have this to look forward to, also donated by Russ are 2 tickets to Camp Column's chili dinner. When is that, Russ?
October 7th, and remember that Camp Column is owned by them.
Camp Column is owned by kids, for kids, all about the kids. So 2 tickets to the chili, and also, if you elect to take the $100, you may, or you may leave it with me. Let's move on. Ladies, have you made a decision? All right, here. You will all now make the presentation. There's that. There is that. And you would like to make the announcement.
We chose number 3, the chicken and noodles. Rhonda Cruz, chicken and noodles.
Rhonda Cruz? Well, come on up here, Rhonda.
Congratulations.
It was very good.
Thank you, ladies. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it very much. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to come up here with the Grandma's Cook-Off winning aprons and the $300 each, I'm going to take just a couple of moments before we do that, because once I do it, you don't care about it, what I got to say. So just a couple things real quick. Would like to take a moment to say thank you to Rita and Lindsay back there. Rita, Lindsay, come on, put your hands up. You know, it's always the same old thing. I get to stand up here, look like I did all this work, and actually, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for the people of Genda Funeral Home, this wouldn't happen. So to my staff and everybody who helped volunteer today, I want to say thank you. And these folks also agree with me and say thank you. To our judges that are still here, thank you for taking your time out and being with us today. One final thing. I made an earlier announcement, or I should have. There's going to be a rather radical change. See, you're supposed to change things every 10 years. That's what's called a decade, right? So, what are the changes? Well, here's one of the changes. Behind me right here, I'd like to bring somebody back out of my memory for just a second. That's my mom. When I first started putting this cook-off together, I ran the idea by Mom, and she smiled like all moms do, supporting their sons, and she said, well, I think that's a pretty good idea. And I said, great, thanks, Mom. She goes, but, and then she added on her 3 or 4 buts. But this, but this, but this. And I just kind of went, Mom, you know what? I'll do it my way. Well, you know what? Now it's time to do it Mom's way. So next year it's going to be Grandma's Cook-Off Gigi's way, because that's what we call my mom. So, What was my mom's big rub? Well, here's what it was. I said this always needed to be a contest for grandmas or grandpas. My mom, from the very beginning, always said, but Mark, you're excluding people by doing that, and that's not how we do things. And you're right, Mom, that's not how we do things. Grandma's Cook-Off moving forward for next year will not just be grandmas and grandpas. It will be grandmas and grandpas recipes presented by anyone. We shouldn't live in a world of exclusion. We should live in a world of collusion. So next year's Grandma's Cook-Off Gigi's Way is, you bring Grandma's recipe, you fix it like Grandma fixed it, and we can't wait to try it and judge it, and maybe you'll win the $300. But that's the change for next year, and it's because of that young lady right there. Grandma's Cook-Off Gigi's Way is going to be our 11th year. So that was our big announcement for this year. So I guess is there still something left to do? Let me see. I thanked everybody. We all ate. Winner announcements. That's what it was. Okay. All right. You have those, Rita? Somebody have a trumpet? All right. Next year, Grandma's Cook-Off Gigi's Way will get a trumpet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners. Do we have cash? And do we have our Drop Dead Delicious aprons? Anyone? There are people here that have their Drop Dead Delicious aprons. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you to come forward when I announce the winner. This year, in the main dish category, our winner is number 10, Sheila Vestu. Shelley Virtue. I'm sorry, I don't have my glass. Shelley, where are you? Come on up here, Shelley. I'm sorry, what did I say? Oh, I can't read. Well, come on up here and take the money anyway. She needs an apron. And she really wants the money. All right, in the soups, number 8, Joy Marlin Loaded Potato Soup. Where are you? Ta-da! Joanne Pollan. All right, in the sides and salads, number 9, Joanne Pollan. Look at you go, girl. There is your sides and salads. And now, the desserts. Number 8, Billy Hensley. A man? A man? Oh, no, it's not a man. It's a girl. Wait a minute. There's no men up here. Congratulations, grandmas. All right, we need a picture. Let's see the money. Oh, just get them first. Get them first. Okay, ladies, let's see it.
Hold the money up.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Was the side dish winner?
What?
Carrot puff. And carrot puff was from Joanne Pollan, right? Billy made peanut butter pie.
Okay, peanut butter pie, carrot puff. Nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's your winners this year. That's this year's the 10th year of Grandma's Cook-Off. Drop Dead Delicious. There you go. Yeah. Can we bring you over this way, ladies? Two of you over here.
Over there?
Yeah, you know what? This is actually, you know what? This is for my sisters.
Oh, okay.
All right, thanks.
So there we have it. Not only did
it looks like the chicken and noodles with Rhonda Cruz won the Kids' Choice. But we had our 4 other winners that Dennis Bergendorf, I think, has captured. And Dennis, maybe you can go over those again. Who were the winners there?
Well, in the dessert, it was Billy Hensley, and of course, Mark thought it was a guy. Well, anyway.
But that was the peanut butter or something, wasn't it?
Yes. And the main dish was Shelley.
Oh, Virtue. Shelley Virtue.
Shelley Virtue. And the soup was the loaded potato soup. That was Joy Marlin.
Joy Marlin, okay.
And the side dish was Joanne Pollan. So,
well, congratulations to those 5 winners this year.
5 winners this year. And of course, the Robin Cruz won the 4-H division.
And the 4 main winners then will be getting those drop-dead delicious aprons as well. And their Mark is congratulating the winners as well. We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast on WILO TV. Looks like the doors are opening and people are leaving, no doubt well satisfied with the event. And you know, it's only been an hour and 20 minutes since the judging started.
Yeah.
And so it really doesn't take too long, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't exactly eat
Lindsay,
up your whole day.
come over here, Lindsay. We have to have Lindsay just for a little bit. Lindsay is who we worked with to do some of the organizing for this. And Dennis, you can ask her some of your good questions there.
How did it go this year?
Pretty smooth. It goes smooth every year, but this was exceptional with the amount of contestants there were.
Yeah, 58 or 57.
57.
57.
Yep.
Did you think there were any surprises out there?
A lot of different unique smells. So I think people were trying to go for some unique things this year. But, you know, the standards really took it.
The kids seem to enjoy judging the Kids' Choice, too.
Yeah.
The chicken and noodles.
Yep. And
Was
my
that-
mom brought over the chocoholic cake we were raised on, and that's her right there.
Well, good.
Yeah, so she's disappointed, but
Lindsay,
she's still a winner.
we want you to know how much we appreciate the opportunity to be here. And
appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you so
Our
much.
pleasure.
Yeah.
And we'll put together a kind of a montage video. Eric will do some things, and we'll put this up on YouTube and share it.
Yep, got a lot of friends watching the live feed right now. So
Excellent.
yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, so there we have it. The Lindsay is with, of course, Genda. Well, Dennis, that's kind of going to wrap things up, don't you think?
It was a tremendous Grandma's Cook-Off. And of course, next year it's going to be Grandma's Cook-Off Gigi's Way in honor of Mark's mother. So this thing just continues to grow. Next year we'll probably have over 60 entries because people just know how big this is and how important it is.
Could we get a better angle on her picture? We never were able to capture that. And so we'll move that around and we'll see what Mark's mom's picture looks like. There we go. And to get a close-up shot of her. And she's the one that I guess had the idea of, hey, let's don't
Yeah,
just
very wonderful woman.
don't just make this just for grandmas and grandpas. Let's open it up to everybody. So next year it'll be Grandma's Cook-Off Gigi's Way.
So we may even have some young people entering Grandma's Cook-Off.
So from Genda Funeral Home for Dennis Bergendorf and also Ken Hartman, who was one of the judges here. Dennis, anything else you'd like to add?
No, just that this was a wonderful time, and I look forward to it every year. Last year, Barb did win. This year, not quite so lucky, but she'll try again next year.
All right. So for Dennis and Ken Hartman, this is Russ Casper at the 10th annual Genda Funeral Home Grandma's Cook-Off.